Hi S3, welcome to your third week task, and today's focus is going to be on building drones. Now it does say at the top this is for National 4-5, however this is something we do in S3 as well, and it kind of better prepares you for your senior phase. So we'll first of all start going through a wee PowerPoint slide discussing and giving you background information about building drones and symbols, giving you a bit of working knowledge. We'll then move on to your task, and I'll do obviously an example of your task with you today. And we'll also put a wee plenary, a wee additional task at the end if it's something you would like to do. So let's go. So building drones, introduction. A building or construction project requires a complete set of drawings called a project set. Okay. Now a lot of the time this has to be able to be read by builders, joiners, plumbers, electricians and so on and so forth. Now the main plans we're going to be looking at today is location plans, site plans, floor plans, elevation and sectional views. Okay, now each of these are really important to have their own scales, they're each their own different type of plan, but it's something that is done to a British standard. Okay, so this is something that is kind of recognised the world over. Now let's start off with a location or a block plan. So the location plan, as you can see here, a location plan tends to come with a traditional scale of 1 to 1250. Okay, so as you can see with a location plan, if you were going to purchase a house, the point of a location plan is to show you where your house is in location on the plot, where it's situated. We've also got in the wee corner here, we've got what's called or referred to as the north symbol. That way you can see what direction north is in a compass, with all your house in place and all other houses adjoining onto it. Okay, so things that's included is all neighbouring buildings and the plot boundaries, street names, roads, pavements, footpaths, our north direction arrow, which I've said here, and the scale of the drone, which I've already told you. So anytime you see a location plan, this traditionally here tends to be the scale of it. Our next one is a site plan. So a site plan is just a wee bit more zoomed in, shall we say. So whereas a location plan shows all buildings in that location, a site plan is just that one area here. So if we take this wee area here, that is that area. So obviously with this, it is zoomed in quite a bit more. So it's a scale of 1 to 200. Which again, location plan 1 to 1250, site plan 1 to 200, so it could include boundaries of your plot. So there's the boundaries of the plot size here with dimensions. Say for instance this dimension is 53 metres long by 40 metres tall. We have got the position of the building, so again here's a building position here with some dimension done. We've got some trees, so here is a symbol for existing trees that are in place, again along with our north symbol. We've got drainage information as well as contour lines sometimes. Moving on to that is a floor plan. So again, the floor plan is actually a bit more detailed of your house. Again, tend to be traditionally scale of 1 to 100 or 1 to 150, and this is going to be our focus for today's task. So from this you can see obviously we've got our basic outline shape of our house. We've got a few wee symbols in that, and that's what we're going to look at today. Now we'll go over the stock and standard symbols on the next slide. However, later on there's a wee kind of plenary to add on to your task with a few extra things you can add as well. So what normally shown in the floor plan is the layouts and dimensions of the rooms, portions and size of the windows and doors, layouts of the kitchen and bathroom, lamps, switches, sockets, and the scale of the drawings again. So if I zoom in slightly, we'll go through a few of these with you. So as you can see, this basic shape here is our wall, this outer shape. We've got this part in here which represents our windows. We've got this wee thing in here that represents a light socket, and this obviously here is the wire or the electricity wire running from socket to our lamp or bulb. We've also got here this kind of line with a curve, symbolises a door, and we've got a few wee others which I'll put up a list of to show you in the next kind of part of the slides. Now, obviously within S1 and S2 we look particularly at orthographic drawings, so elevation should be nothing new to you. So again, an elevation tends to be your front view, side view and top view, or your elevation, end elevation and plan. So you can see in this case it's referred to as a rear elevation and a west elevation. Again, scale traditionally is 1 to 100. And again, normally shows style of the building, external proportions, external features, the type of roof, and the position of doors and windows from the outside. And again, traditional scale is 1 to 100 or 1 to 50. Now a sectional view is a wee bit more detailed. A sectional view is actually where, if you can imagine, you've chopped your house in half, so you can actually see it. You've taken a slice through the wall and you can see inside the building. So it actually shows the materials inside the makeup of the building. So it shows things like brick, timber, concrete, construction details, dimensions, and again, because it is that bit more detailed, the scale is at 1 to 20. Now here are the symbols that we're going to be using. Now it's your choice the way in which you want to do this today. This can either be a task that is drawn on a piece of paper and then uploaded to the assignment tab, or it can be done digitally. For today's example, I'm going to show you how to do it as a digital version, so I'm going to leave this obviously in the video. That way you can always pause this and refer back to the video of where you're going to add in your lamps, your switches, your bath, your shower trays, so on and so forth. Now, you don't need to use all of these. There are several of these that you won't have to use. So, take note of this. I will not expect you to use the concrete, brickwork, sawn timber, insulation board, block work, window hinged at side, window hinged at top, or window hinged at bottom. We will be using the rest, however. On our next slide, the only two we'll be using this slide is the north sign, this one here, and the proposed tree. So again, remember to pause the video. That way you know what the symbols look like, that way you can use them later on and add them to either your drawing or your PowerPoint. Now, here is the PowerPoint I made earlier for yourself. So I said this is going to be a digital version of the task. So, what I'm going to do is obviously S3 Graphcom Task 3, week beginning the 25th of the 1st 21. So again, this task will be issued to you on the Monday and close on the Thursday to allow your teacher to mark it on Friday. Now your task is to either recreate your own house or design your own. So you're going to add building symbols as it's shown in the video. Your task can be either drawn or done electronically, like I'm going to do in the next slide. And if done digitally, you can use the icons in the PowerPoint and drag and drop them onto your own house design. Here's two finished examples. So again, very quick sketch. It's got some stairs in it as well, this person's added. They've started to add, if I zoom in a wee bit for you, they've added dimensions out of the rooms. Now I'm not looking for you to add dimensions, however if you want to you can. They've put in some worktop units, they've put in obviously their wee sink trays and their cooker hobs. Again, this one really isn't a good example. This one isn't really as detailed as I would like it to be. What I'm kind of looking for is more along the lines of this standard. However, if you're doing it drawing, you'd be drawing to the standard. So you're doing again your walls, your windows, and using the symbols, labelling your rooms, putting in stairs of where things are going to go. So, and again we've got the wee north symbol off to our right hand side here. So moving on to our actual task. So what we're going to do is, or if you're doing this electronically, we've got all of our building symbols down the left hand side here, and we can drag and drop these and copy and paste them. So you can either right click, choose copy, then right click paste, or hold Control on your keyboard, press the letter C, then Control V to paste. So we've got that as well. Now we're going to use this area here to do our design in. However, if you're drawing, just take a blank sheet of paper. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the outer design of my house. So there is my basic square floor plan. Now I'm going to go shape fill, and I don't want it to be any fill. My shape outline is going to be black, but I need to make it a bit thicker, so I'm going to choose weight and make it 6 points. So that's the basic shape of my house. I'm going to stick to a basic square house, but if you want to design something a bit more unusual, by all means show your creativity. From there, I'm going to start adding in all my rooms. So I'm going to stick to using this box. Now if you can't find this, you find it under insert, then it's shapes. So you'll get everything in here. I'm going to use the box. And this time again, remove no fill, make it black, and I'm going to make it just a wee bit skinnier this time to represent an interior wall. Maybe a wee bit heavier than what it is though. So there we go. So I'm going to have that there, and I'm going to start overlapping. So that is going to be in my living room. Now rather than having to go up, insert the tool all the time, I'm just going to start copying and pasting. So Control C, Control V. So I've got a room there. I'll maybe have a room there. I'm going to have a room here, so this is my corridor from my front door. Have a room here. And another one here. So quite a big house, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms, and I've got a hallway all the way throughout it. Now, when I've done that, I'm going to start off labeling my rooms. Again, insert. Let's go to text box and let's start labeling our rooms. This is going to be my living room. I'm going to make this my bathroom. It's the smallest room. So again, try and stick to scale in your house. I'll make this my dining room, I think. Nope. I'll make this my kitchen. And I think, what can I make this second room? I think I'll make this let's make this a downstairs bedroom. And again, just a wee note for myself, just that way I can know when I'm marking it. We'll just call this my home first floor. Now if you want to do 2 floors, that is great. If you want to just do 1 floor, that is fine. But I'm assuming not everyone stays in a bungalow, so try and do 2 floors if you can. Now, let's start off by adding in where we want our lights to be, our lamps. I'm going to copy and paste that. Then I can just grab and drag where I want my lamps to be in my house. So I'm going to have 2 in my living room. Here. Let's start putting some in my hallway, so once I come in the door. So there's some lamps, I've got a nice bright house. Let's just do maybe 1 in the bathroom, in the bedroom, 1 in the bedroom, 1 in the bathroom, dining room. I like to see our food, so maybe 2 in there. And then maybe 4 in the kitchen, because it's quite a big kitchen for when we're cooking. So that is all my lamps placed. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stop the video just here, because I'm aware this is obviously quite a long video and I don't want obviously this to be too long for you to watch. So I'm going to stop it here. I'll then upload another video for part 2, that way you can watch this in 2 parts. So make sure and check out the next video.